Good day everyone! Welcome to another video lesson with me, Sir Robert Tempilar, your SPA 9 Theater Arts teacher. In this video lesson, we will going to explore the Quarter 3, Week 7 of our learning module, which is the Postmodern Theater. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to identify the characteristic of postmodern theater. Analyze the performance practices of theater of cruelty. Connect postmodern theater effects into today's theater performance. Before we start our discussion, let me remind you of the following. Always equip yourself with pen and paper. Distance yourself from any distraction while studying. Take down notes all the essential information for your reference. Avoid chatting, multitasking, or doing another task while taking the video lesson. Manage your time wisely and productively. And for better learning experience, let us practice pause and play. Whenever the teacher has a question, pause the video for a while and try to answer. Then play when you already have. The stage is set, the lights is on, the camera is rolling, so let's start learning. So before we proceed, let's have a quick review of our previous lesson. Can you give us an idea? That is correct. Woo! So our topic last time is about the theater of resistance and revolution. Now, we will going to proceed with another form of theater. But before that, let's answer this. Have you ever watched a theatrical performance, whether live or in the internet, and noticed something? Something missing? Something that catches your attention, some technical issues or excellence that the performance has. If your answer is yes, name the title of the play and write down what you notice. And if not, let us all watch this video. Now, let's see what you got. What did you notice to the video presented? And that is right. It focused on a graceful and artistic movement rather than the script and more on drama. Postmodern theater view theatrical performance as a real-life event or happening in which audience participate. The theater embraces human experience in various forms and takes its inspiration from history, culture, and social issues. It forces the audience to re-evaluate boundaries between art and reality, and it creates an atmosphere that the audience are active participants. So now, let us study the characteristic of postmodern theater by watching this video.
Postmodern dramaturgy. One thing that's important to realize about this form of dramaturgy is that it's not one thing, it can take a lot of different forms. Still, we're going to take a look at some typical characteristics that can help us recognize the postmodern. Number 1. Recycling. While earlier forms of theater always tried to create something new, postmodern theater takes old stuff and repurposes it. Text from an old play, a book, or a whole character can be recycled into something entirely new. Number 2. Interpretation. Postmodern theater does not have a deeper meaning, at least not one deeper meaning. This is often called the gap, a distance between the creator and the audience that lets them interpret things in their own way. Number 3. Fusion. Postmodern theater is not just theater, it's also dance and performance art and music and film and really anything. Postmodern dramaturgy often fuses different art forms into one experience. The text or the actors aren't more important than the lighting or the scenography. 4. Deconstruction. Brecht tried to remind people that the play they were watching was constructed in order to get people to think. Some of the postmodern dramaturgs, on the other hand, try to remind people that our whole reality is a construct. Our language, our society, and the political questions that Brecht tried to get them to think about. They show this through deconstruction. As an example, they might deconstruct the language by talking gibberish, or they might play with illusion and reality using metafictional elements. Number 5. Simultaneity. Another form this deconstruction can take is simultaneous dramaturgy. That means that there are multiple things happening on stage at the same time. Maybe there's some people having a dialogue in one corner, a person dancing on the other side, and a music video playing in the background. The audience has to choose what they want to pay attention to. So, postmodern dramaturgy is a bit more difficult to describe, maybe because it's not some relic of the past, but a part of our time. It's still being explored and developed, and in a few years, maybe some entirely new form will emerge, because as long as humanity still exists, theater will also be there, growing and changing with us.
So, now that we already know the characteristic of postmodern theater, let us study one of its examples. The Theater of Cruelty by Antonin Artaud. Antonin Artaud is the most influential figure in the evolution of modern drama. He is associated with surrealist writers, artists, and experimental theater during 1920s. The Theater of Cruelty believed to be his most notable contribution to the drama theory. And now, what is the Theater of Cruelty? The Theater of Cruelty is an experimental genre of the theater that is concerned more with the audience sense experience than it is with dialogue and content. The word cruelty does not intend to be brutal. However, badness and perversion are often associated with it. The theater wanted to transfer a sense of pain, suffering, and evil using gestures, sounds, and symbols instead of words. The screams, cries, and other noises meant to jar the mind and make people face their fears. The best example of this theater is Les Cenci. It is Artaud's only known play based on the guidelines of the Theater of Cruelty. It is a true-to-life story of Beatrice Cenci, daughter of Count Francesco Cenci, who continuously abused his family and committed other outrages, including rape, incest, and murder. But he always got away with it on payment of a regular large amount to the Pope. His family and servants decide to kill him, and Beatrice ordered the act. They were all caught, condemned, and executed to death by the Vatican through public execution. The story shows us how unfair the society is before, and it can happen to anyone. It is a classic portrayal of the idea that if you have money, you have the control. So now, we already identified the characteristic of postmodern theater and analyzed the performance practices of theater of cruelty. Now, let's do this activity. Watch a video or short clips of today's theater performance. Connect the ideas of postmodern theater to the video that you have watched and try to answer the following. What is the title of the theater performance? What is the story all about? Does the act was taken from an old play, a book, or adaptation from someone's work? How do you interpret the story? What was the message? Does the act focus only in acting, or there's a variety of act happening? Try to answer this in a clean one whole sheet of paper. Congratulations! We are now done in quarter 3, week 7 of our module. Great job, learners! See you in the next lesson. Again, this is Sir Robert, your SPA Theater Arts teacher.